سكر الذي بالكاد والنون.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters watching Echo from Touba, very delighted today to have a guest coming from America, from Washington, D.C., Brother Mouhamad Majeed. He's an Imam in one of the biggest mosques in America. We're going to meet him today before the show. Please follow us. A new Echo from Touba episode today, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Mouhamad. كيف الحال? Thank you. Welcome to Senegal.
Thank you.
Welcome to Africa again.
Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah. This is your second time, I guess.
In Senegal?
In Senegal. Your third time in Senegal. The first time you came was in what year?
First time I came, the president of Senegal, President Macky Sall. I'm very grateful for him. He invited me, introduced me to Senegal and this beautiful country.
MashaAllah. The fourth president of Senegal, Macky Sall, of course. After Senghor, the first one, Abdou Diouf, but also Abdoulaye Wade. But now Macky Sall just running his 7-year term president and first term as well. Before we start, we're going to just thank and wish long life to the Khalif, Sheikh Sidi al-Mukhtar. By the way, he visited a while ago. And also my Sheikh, my own one, Serigne Murtala, Serigne Abdul Ahad, watching us, of course, from Touba. Echo from Touba is every Wednesday, 4:30 in Lampfal TV. You can also check our Facebook page, Facebook page, Echo from Touba page. You can send us messages, tell us also how we're doing. Today, again, delighted to have this Imam Mouhamad Majeed. If you watch the inauguration of Donald Trump, he's the one, the Sheikh, who recited the beautiful Qira of Suratul Hujurat. That was so great.
And Surah Al-Rum.
And Surah Al-Rum, so wonderful and very telling, those surah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. O humankind, we have created you from a single male and female, Adam and Eve, and made you into nations and tribes and communities, that you may know each other. Verily the most honored of you in the sight of God is the one who is the most righteous of you. And God has full knowledge and is well acquainted with all things. ومن آياته خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف ألسنتكم وألوانكم إن في ذلك لآيات للعالمين. And among the signs of God is the creation of heaven and earth, and the variation in your languages and your colors. Verily in that are signs for those who know.
President Trump began his day by attending a prayer service at Washington's National Cathedral. Clergy from various faiths took part, but one had an unexpected message for the president of sorts. He is Imam Mouhamad Majeed. He's executive director of the Al-Dolas Area Muslim Society, and he joins me now. Thank you, Imam, for joining us. You were supposed to, originally they asked you to do the call to prayer, right?
Yeah, call to prayer, yes.
And then you, a couple days ago, you told them that
like a few days ago, I shared with the National Cathedral and the inaugural team that I would like to use the verses from the Holy Quran, and they approved those verses.
Yeah. So you decided to give the verses, and the verses were about diversity, and it was sort of meaning saw it as political messages. Why did you choose to do that?
These verses from the Holy Quran, I use them in various gatherings for the praying for the nation and celebrating diversity of this beautiful country. Those verses really are the verses from the Holy Quran that all of us as human beings are equal before the eyes of God, and therefore it's not a political message at all. I think it's well received, first of all, I would like to say. It is the verses that address the principles that this beautiful country was built on.
Yeah. What were the verses? What were the verses you read?
The verse from chapter 49, it says that all mankind, or humankind, we have created you from male and female, which is Adam and Eve, and made you to different nations and tribes and communities.
Right. And
so that you might recognize one another, get to know one another. And the best among you those are the most righteous.
Why did you feel the need to do that?
I feel the need to do this because numbers of people coming to this prayer service from various communities with different religious background. I looked to that gathering and saw the American salad bowl.
Yeah, and you thought that they needed to hear that message.
That message.
So you were very well known here in Washington, a very well known Imam. You've been criticized by your fellow Muslims for agreeing to take part in this event. Why did you agree to do it?
Yeah, my model and my example is my prophet, peace be upon him. Prophet Muhammad spoke to people who disagreed with him and people who spoke ill of him, and he engaged them. And I do believe that in order to have people to understand who we are, we have to engage with them. And therefore the American Muslims are hurt of what they have heard, the rhetoric they've heard during the campaign. And therefore many of them, they still believe that they been misunderstood, they have not they been mischaracterized by the campaign. And Muslim Americans would like to be looked at as prospect, not suspect. Yeah. None of us would like to be looked at as security threat.
If you know the meaning of them. But also during the inauguration of Donald Trump, he did some presentations over there. So we don't lose any minutes here because we just have 45 minutes and having a great guest. We're going to ask him a first question. What's the state of Islam in America right now?
Islam in America is very flourishing. Muslim community are very diverse. They come from all kind of walk of life. They come from different ethnicities. But what unite them is their Islam. And they are fostering American Muslim identity. Loving of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God Almighty, and loving of His Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and loving of people and people around them, and loving of the country. Therefore, they do represent really the beauty of Islam, mashallah, across America. You have now in America masajid in every major city. Masajid, not one masjid. Masajid in major city. Right. Islamic schools, free clinic, Muslims providing health care for the fellow American, Muslim or non-Muslim. And also Muslim working with people of other faith. It was Christian, it was Jewish in the community, to work together for harmony, for prosperity of the country. Therefore, it's comforting to my heart when I see young people, American Muslim young generation and young people working with their fellow American, shoulder to shoulder, and improving the condition of their communities.
Community works are very important, but Islam, how old is Islam in America? Who were the pioneers?
You know, Islam in America is old as the founding fathers, or even before that. As you know that Muslims came to America through the slave trade also, from Africa. And when you are island Gori here, that you remember that most of the people who left this continent, 30% at least, they were Muslims. And therefore, there's a documentations of the Islam in America that had been there for centuries. And then you have the 1963 Immigration Act, where allow the immigrants from around the Muslim world to come, and some of them come as students, some of them come for businesses, and then they start building organizations, building masajid, building institutions, and now there are above 7 million people in America.
7 million Muslims?
Yes, Muslims.
Which is the percentage of about How the percentage of Muslims in America?
Yes, it's about 1%.
1%,
yes,
right?
2%.
Right, it's still growing. I mean,
Yes,
the
it's
fastest growing.
Yes.
In terms of converts and reverts in,
Yes.
in America, of course. You're leading the second biggest mosque in Senegal. I mean, in Washington.
Yes.
The Adam Center.
Yes.
And recently, I mean, New York. I don't know, but there's a group or an organization called MICA, Murid Islamic Center of America. They just finished their masjid in New York. You heard of it?
Yes.
Right, and also they have a big one in Atlanta, so the Murid community, very
Yes.
vibrant, also
Yes.
building mosque. And what is the relationship between the community, the Murid community, and the Muslim in general community in America?
Yes, I get to know the Murids in the 90s.
Right.
I met some of the brothers from Senegal in the 90s who are from the Touba.
From Touba, right.
And they introduced me to the beautiful teaching of Khadim al-Rasul, Sayyid Ahmed Mamba, and his poetry. And therefore I get to know the beauty of the loving of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that's beautiful poetry of Khadim al-Rasul. The Senegalese community and the Muridi communities are very active in the Muslim community in America.
Right.
And they have different houses also, like those homes.
Called Serigne Touba.
Yeah, yes.
House of Serigne Touba.
Yes, yes.
Right.
And the hub, we call them the hub.
The hub, right.
Yes. And also they're very participating in the community. So I have members of my community from Senegal.
Right.
And from the Muridi, community, and we appreciate their participations, their engagement with the community.
Right.
And I participated in events in America that were the Murids they have held there.
Right. Okay, and also the pioneer, the one who really from the Murid community will get out of this country and went outside to propagate Islam and to propagate the teaching of Sheikh Al-Khadim was his own son, Sheikh Mouhamad Murtada Al-Makki. And did you ever met him when he used to come in America?
No, I did not have the pleasure of meeting him, but I met Sheikh Bashir.
Right, and he passed away in 2004. He did a great job. Now his son, Serigne Mamor Mbake, he's the one who's going around in New York and Washington. Maybe, inshallah, you're gonna get to meet him once, inshallah. Coming back to your visit in Senegal, what brought you to the country?
I've been at the Senegal many times. This time that there's two occasions. One, the son of a friend, close friend of mine, brother Omran Omar, is getting married.
MashaAllah.
But also we come to meet with the head of the religious community, again, because we have done a declaration of vaccination in this country, where the President Macky Sall preside over it, and that declaration of vaccination have really changed so many things in this continent. Now we took that declaration and we went to Ethiopia, East Africa, and we had a conference there with the ministers of health in Africa and religious leaders. And we did, many programs regarding this declaration. Now, alhamdulillah, in Nigeria, almost Nigeria is now polio-free. Wow. Because of this conference been done in Senegal, and it become well known as the Dakar Declaration. Declaration of Dakar. You can look at it in our website, iipcnet.org, where we have even toolkit. We have the declaration become the khutbah of Jum'ah, Friday sermon, become a summary of questions about vaccinations. And therefore, we took that and now we created a model called Fiqh al-Ihya, the jurisprudence of life. Because Islam promotes life. Islam asks all of us to protect a life of every individual. And that means their health, their education, their economic prosperity, their security. And therefore, we take different programs that we developed a program for imams training called Imam for Peace and Development. And that includes addressing the issue of violence, extremism, include the issue of health, include the issue of education. Therefore, we are into the business of transforming people and changing people. And I'm very happy to see in Senegal, for example, when I attended the Mawlid in Touba, where the Sheikh spoke about the agriculture, Sheikh Abdul Aziz say, was amazing. When I went to the Mughal, and people talk about the fighting violence, extremism, and they have the conference before that. Therefore, Senegal is a model, to be honest with you, of religious tolerance, religious understanding, and applied Sufism. Sufism that is active in transforming people's life and have them to work on building society that resilience is strong and bring understanding of Islam in all aspects of life. That's what we inspire to do. We inspire to share this message with the entire Muslim world that the role of religious leader is to address the needs of the society and to apply Islam in their context. But Islam is holistic. Islam is a religion that brings prosperity in every aspect of human life. Encourage people to work and produce, encourage people to have education, to have good health, and to have religious tolerance with their fellow human being, whether those are Christians or Jewish, even their community. Therefore, we've been doing a lot of work in that area, and therefore we came and we met with the scholars, representative from the Murid and the representative from the Janiya, and it was an amazing meeting of building that understanding, common understanding. I say all the time the message of Khadim al-Rasul, of non-violence, it should be a model, should be taught in schools. We learn about Dr. King, we learn about Mahatma Gandhi, but there is no who the Muslim hero, that of non-violence. We need to learn about Sheikh al-Khadim, because that will inspire many young people to understand the way to change society is not through violence. That this destruction we see around the world, people killing each other, destruction of mosques, and destruction of churches and so forth.
In the name of Islam.
Yes, name of Islam. I was told also last Mawlid, also in Touba, when they held a conference of violence extremism, how to fight violence extremism.
They did, absolutely.
And President Macky Sall also presided over that. Therefore, it's amazing that you see the work of people in this country. And I'm very happy to say that I see young professional muridis in America. They love their religion, they love their Islam, and they
unchangeable.
Yes, unchangeable.
Absolutely.
And they're very representative. They work hard, they highly educated. That Islam that we would like to have. Islam of balance, Islam that really represents a Muslim as a person that love Allah and His Prophet ﷺ, but love humanity as well. Because Allah, loving Allah and the Rasul ﷺ make you love humanity, because taqillah haythu ma kunt, hadith. Be conscious of Allah wherever you may be. السيئة الحسنة تمحوها. Follow bad deeds with good deeds, and then we wiped out the bad deeds. وخالق الناس بخلق حسن. And treat people in the best way. Those three relationships, they're interconnected, they're not separable. And that's the teaching of the Khadim al-Rasul, Sayyid Ahmad al-Manba. It's a teaching of all the greatest scholars of Islam.
MashaAllah. Well, I think it's going to start from here, since you came in to Senegal, and hopefully you're going to help pass the message out there. There's, of course, Senegalese over there. And by the way, you are right now the president of ISNAR.
I was president of ISNAR, but I'm still member of the, board.
Of the board. And you replaced the wonderful Ingrid Matson.
Yes.
That I still follow in many of her lectures. And also, Hamza Yusuf, part of the...
Sheikh Hamza Yusuf is a close friend of mine.
Right.
And is inspiration to the Muslim community.
Absolutely.
This man is the ambassador of Islam.
Yeah.
And wherever he speaks...
college over there.
Yeah,
his university.
He's the president of Zaytuna College.
Zaytuna College, right.
You see, alhamdulillah, Muslim community are building institutions. And now we founded the first Muslim college.
The first one in America.
Yes. And this is founded by the Sheikh Hamza Yusuf, Imam Majeed, and one of the most beautiful way of teaching Islam. Because, you see, is a liberal art college.
Right.
And it is really producing the bright, smart student who understand Islam in American context. It's amazing job they're doing.
Absolutely.
And therefore, Sheikh Hamza is a leader of that school. He's the president of Zaytuna.
Right. He's Zakir Naik. Sheikh Zakir.
No, Sheikh Zakir is not.
He's not a member of the university? That's what I thought.
No, he's not.
That's what I thought.
No, he's not. He's not at all.
Right. He's not even a teacher over there?
No, he's not.
Wow.
Yeah, this university of Sheikh Hamza, Imam Zaid, you know, other professors, Hatim Bazian.
Right.
Those are the teachers of the schools, and not only them, they have the best professors, and the school
from
located
all over the world.
Yeah, the school located in the hub of education in California.
Right.
Therefore, it's really something to make a Muslim proud of.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah.
There's a lot of scenes to be proud of, especially when you were reciting that beautiful Quran during the inauguration of Donald Trump. How did you get there? It was a personal invitation from Donald Trump, or?
It is very interesting that as Muslims, we've been invited to participate in different interfaith events. And one of the largest religious institution in America is the National Cathedral of Washington.
Right.
I've been invited many times to participate, whether to speak at the funeral, Reagan funeral, President Reagan, or to speak in occasion about health care, or to speak about tolerance in that National Cathedral. As a matter of fact, we had gathered religious leaders from America to sign the Declaration for Religious Freedom.
MashaAllah.
And the Christian leaders, Jewish leaders stood with Muslims and to confirm and reassert the rights of Muslims in America.
MashaAllah.
Therefore, I was invited to President Obama inauguration, both, the first one and the second one. In the first one, Dr. Ingrid Mason spoke, but I attended. The second one, I spoke. And then the National Cathedral suggested to President Trump team to invite me for this inauguration, and they invited me, and I'm grateful for the invitation.
MashaAllah.
And I was able to share the verses of the Holy Quran. The first one is Surah Al-Hujurat, and then the second one, Surah Al-Rum, or the verse where it says...
The choice of the surahs was personal, or was the...
I made the choice.
The story, oh, you did?
Yes, the story behind them, because there's an issue about diversity in America, whether Muslims are part of America or not. During the campaign, people heard all the negative rhetoric. Then I said maybe we need to share the message of tolerance, of understanding, from the Quranic perspective. For the first verse says, يا أيها الناس إن خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير.
MashaAllah.
O mankind, or humankind, we have created you for male and female and made you into nations and tribes, so you may know one another. And the best among you, they are those who are the most righteous.
Right.
The second verse from Surah الروم ومن آياته خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف ألسنتكم وألوانكم إن في ذلك لآيات للعالمين. And among his signs is the creation of heaven and earth and the variation of your language and your colors. Very surely in that are signs for those who know. Therefore it is that message of Islam, because you see racism, it is a sin. And racism is denying or rejecting the signs of Allah. Because if Allah says, and among his signs you have different colors,
that's the worst ignorance.
And languages.
Absolutely.
For diversity of culture, diversity of colors, that is what you need to celebrate.
In akramakum indallahi
atqakum.
MashaAllah.
That humanity is not based on you know, loving this race more than this race, or have reference to the color of the skins. But it's about piety, and piety is in the heart. No one
the Arab is not better than the non-Arab.
Absolutely. The
famous hadith,
of Rasulullah when he ended all racism.
Absolutely.
That is the declaration of human rights.
MashaAllah.
When the Prophet ﷺ gave that khutbah, the farewell speech of Hajjat al-Wada.
There's any anecdote after you did that recital, anything?
You know, in the beginning, in the beginning, there's Muslims who said I should not go because they were not happy with what happened. And then when I spoke, they thanked me. They said we didn't know what you're going to say. We're grateful and so forth. But my community was supportive from the beginning. That because I believe in participation. anyone invite you to share the message of Islam with them, you should go and respond to that.
Absolutely, 100%.
You should not close the door in any person.
100%.
Because our role is to be a model, not to pass judgment on people.
Right, right.
Our role is to share the beauty of Islam, not to shut the door of people who are asking us they invite us to share things with them. Therefore, my example in this, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sayyidina Rasulullah.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mashallah.
Anyone asked him to speak to them, he spoke to them. He never shut the door.
Absolutely. And he's a role model.
Yes, he's a role model. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ.
Mashallah.
Very surely in the Prophet, you have the best model and examples, period.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also, we cannot but recall of the icons, Islamic icons over there, like Muhammad Ali, like Malcolm X, and many others who really fought. One time were really different, though.
Yes.
And the passing away of Muhammad Ali, and how today, these past icons, what do they represent over there?
Muhammad Ali, rahimahullah, represent amazing personality in America.
MashaAllah.
The world come to know the Muslim American through Muhammad Ali. The most famous, boxer and athlete in the world.
Right.
He insisted in his name Muhammad Ali.
Right.
Muhammad Ali is a man of the great heart, kind heart, that people who was close to him, like Imam Zayd, he would tell you that personality of Muhammad Ali,
great heart,
just a man of kindness, of gentleness, of love and care.
Absolutely.
And look to what's happened in his funeral. The entire United States witnessed a funeral, a Muslim funeral, where Christians and Jews and presidents, former presidents attended.
They all came, yeah.
Because of the respect they have for this man. For Muhammad Ali really represented the beauty of Islam in America. And we can testify that how much he have really touched people's hearts.
Right.
Around the world, there was a man of charity, a man of giving and caring individuals. And now, alhamdulillah, I get to know members of his family.
Right.
And they are the same, they have this good heart. And my God bless them and bless the family of
his family is still over there, his sons.
Yes.
Right. And also, right now, a Republican, Donald Trump, will campaign using a rhetoric, not saying negative stuff about Islam, but he clearly stated that Islam hates us. And then we can sense a fear from the population over there, I mean the Islam community, and we heard of a lot of racist acts. So, and he became obviously president after that. He's starting his first term. How the Muslim community is feeling, what's the feeling of the Muslim community there about Donald Trump? Are they scared about his presidency?
Muslim American, they believe that the American democracy is very strong.
MashaAllah.
There's a check and balance. No matter who the person is, there's a check and balance in the United States. But I do believe that Muslim Americans have open dialogue with their government in all levels, from local level to the national level. Muslim American, they have created an amazing relationship with the fellow American from other faiths. For example, I give you an example.
Go ahead.
When there was rhetoric against Muslims, and there was a man during President Bush time, who said he would like to burn the Quran. A pastor in Florida.
Right. I'm in Florida. I remember that. Right.
When he did that, the leaders of Christian community and the Jewish community came to the Muslim community and said, "What can we do for you?"
MashaAllah.
And they held a national press conference.
MashaAllah.
And they said, attack in every religion, in any religion, attack in every religion.
MashaAllah.
And we are here to stand with American Muslims shoulder to shoulder.
MashaAllah.
Not only that, you know what they did? They created an organization, have 30 religious, more than 30 religious organizations, major religion, Catholic, Jewish, the Presbyterians, all of. They created this organization and they paid fees to protect Islam.
Allahu Akbar.
It's called shoulder to shoulder.
This is not known by a lot of people.
Oh, You can walk. You can Google this, shoulder to shoulder, and their slogan is shoulder to shoulder, standing with a fellow American Muslims, upholding American values.
MashaAllah.
And they become the spokespeople about Islam and Muslims. Another incident. There was after 9/11. There's some people come and spray things in our mosque, hatred words,
Right.
graffiti in our mosque. And then the Washington Post wrote about it. Next day, Jewish leaders, Christian leaders, Sikh, showed up in our mosque
They got together.
with flowers,
MashaAllah.
with donations,
MashaAllah.
with big postcards signed by their children saying, we love you, we will never allow this to happen to you. And not only that, the next year, they're spending the entire night in our parking lot.
Whoa.
Yes, from the night to the morning.
Right.
And we prayed Fajr in the parking lot, and they saw us praying. Now, about the issue of travel ban and so
Right,
forth.
right.
Many people went to the airports
And pray together.
prayed together, and many people showed up in mosques
Right.
with flowers,
Allahu Akbar.
you know, with respect, with love.
Right.
Therefore, I think American society is a society that responds to the need of one another.
MashaAllah.
And I can see love thy neighbor. Although you may have incident of women being attacked,
Absolutely.
you have children being bullied in school, no doubt about that. You have discomfort sometimes happen in many places.
MashaAllah.
But there's a mechanism, there's a remedy for it, that you can have civil rights organization fight for your life, you have a legal system, and you have built this coalition of the Christians. And by the way, our organization, IIPC,
IIPC, which is
IIPC, I'm the chairman of IIPC.
That's different than Iceland. That's nothing to do with that.
No, the IIPC is the organization that held this conference
Right.
of vaccination that I was talking about.
Sorry, in 2013.
It's called International
Right.
Interfaith Peace Corps. I'm the chairman of this organization. Is the one that promoting this vaccination in Africa.
MashaAllah.
Is the one that working with the religious leaders in the issue of violence extremism. IIPC working now closely with evangelical Christians in
America.
In America,
MashaAllah.
where we get we finish a conference. We get 30 imam, 15 imams, and 15 pastors. We got them together in Texas. Those pastors, they never knew Muslims. And when they spend 3 days together, all the stereotype about Muslims shattered.
Absolutely.
And then we came back and we twin them. Have the Muslims and the pastor work together in
This is the best dawah.
Yes. And the second time, we met them we have them to meet together in Doha.
Right.
That we had the Pakistani scholars, Christians and Muslims and pastors, American pastors met together.
Right.
Now with the Sheikh Abdullah bin Baya partnership, we met in
Mauritania?
No, we met in Abu Dhabi.
In Abu Dhabi,
Abu Dhabi. With the
Sheikh Abdullah bin Baya, he resides in Mauritania or?
Sheikh Abdullah bin Baya, he resides in Abu Dhabi and Jeddah, in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
MashaAllah.
He has been leading the scholars, transforming many people's minds and changing people. He's the one who presided over also the vaccination.
MashaAllah.
That I was talking about in Senegal. And therefore, we are working with those evangelical Christians to build a coalition and relationship, because those are the community have the most misunderstanding about Islam and Muslims.
MashaAllah.
But alhamdulillah, with the partner of a pastor named Bob Roberts, that we've been working together and addressing this issue across America. Our goal is to have 50 cities where the imam and pastor work together and creating this understanding between both communities.
MashaAllah. I mean, there's obviously health issues in Africa. So if your community, beside helping out to get all these communities together in order to help other communities, like in Africa, that really need stuff like that, it is absolutely.
We're planning, by the way, to hold a conference, inshallah, next year, here in Senegal, to promote Senegal as a country of religious tolerance. We're going to bring the Christians and Muslim leaders to this beautiful city.
That's tolerance, of course, because if you heard of the work of Sheikh Ahmadu Bamba, the work of Sidi Aj Malik, that's the grandfather of Sayyid Abdul Aziz, but also Sheikh al-Islam and many others really fought for what we have in Senegal. There's a lot of things we can, of course, share with the world. We can share with the world right now. And also coming back, before we come back really to Senegal to talk it at the last sequence of this program. And right now, like I talk about with Donald Trump, there's a lot to share over there also. I heard Brother Amza Yusuf sometimes having some interviews in interfaith, I mean, calling other Christians and Jews and talk to them in order to really portray the good image, the real image of Islam, which is, like you said, an image of tolerance. So how you guys cope with the other side that teaches the opposite of the teaching of Rasulullah, which means, again, violence, which means pushing youngsters instead of sending them to go to school and learn, read the right thing, be tolerant. You don't create the people. Why you have to go and kill them? They don't belong to you. They all belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how you guys, like Shaykh al-Khadim said, Inni ujairu bil-ulum wa bil-tuqa. I'm not fighting with arms and stuff. Inni ujairu.
That outstanding man, that's because he really understood the message of Islam in a way that's amazing, of non-violence.
And he did it in a very wonderful way by himself.
Yes, absolutely.
7 years, 8 years in exile, he came back. He wrote, his memorabilia is unbelievable.
Yes.
Every single murid can have his own book written by the same person.
No,
he never had time.
No, this is amazing.
So how you guys cope with that opposite teaching?
There's an issue of violence extremism rising around the world.
Absolutely.
We, as IIPC, International Interfaith Peace Corps, we work with UNDP. We held a conference in Abuja, in Nigeria. We invited the representative, Sheikh Ahmed Saloom. He came from
Salum. By the way, hi to Sheikh Salum Dieng.
Yes,
he's the one who actually.
Yeah, he came for the conference,
right?
And he did very well, presenting the Muridis, mashallah, very eloquent. We have Sidi Ahmed, the son of Sheikh Abdul Aziz. They came also, that representing the Tijani
community.
And we have other scholars from around West Africa.
Right.
And we discussed this phenomena. How can we address the issue of violence extremism? We have created a model with UNDP in addressing this issue, and we issued a declaration in Abuja in addressing this issue in terms of all the driving factors, whether economics, whether lack of education, especially religious education. Most of the people commit violence extremism, they don't know Islam.
Absolutely.
And the third one is to talk about empowerment of youth and provide opportunities for them. Okay, and that the training done to the Imam, the religious leaders, and we issued the declaration. Now we just finished a conference in Uganda, actually 2 weeks ago. In Uganda, we brought all the scholars of East Africa. Now we're going to create an umbrella organization from both. Out of both conferences, we will create a network of Imam for Peace and Development to address all of this issue holistically. Okay, because you see, the issue of health is connected to the issue of education, economics issues, and the issue of tolerance and understanding. All of that are interconnected. Therefore, we're addressing this issue in a holistic manners. Now, there's an issue of narrative. How to counter the narrative of violence extremism. They promise people paradise by doing the violence. We tell them, as Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayy said, this is not the path to Jannah.
Absolutely.
You know, this is the path to hellfire.
You have to tell them.
You have to tell it as it is. If you من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض كأنما قتل الناس جميعا. Whoever take one life and create mischief on earth, as if have taken the life of all humanity. And whoever saved one life, as he saved the life of all humanity. Therefore, in Nigeria, we're working with Sultan Foundation, and in Senegal, we're working with the old established the tariqas and the muridis, you know, and the Tijaniya, and in Uganda, we're working with the muftis, and we creating this and creating a network of resilience, inshallah, in Africa, with partnership, with great teaching of Sheikh Sidi Ahmed Bamba, because that's amazing teaching. Now, the issue here that, like Sheikh Hamza Yusuf, you mentioned Sheikh Hamza Yusuf. Right. Sheikh Hamza Yusuf been doing a very great service to the Muslims in the West by establishing this Zaytuna, but also if you go to the website of Zaytuna, he's highlighting who are the heroes of Muslims. MashaAllah. Sheikh Abdul Qadir al-Jazairi, for example. Okay? Sheikh Ahmed Bamba. All of those are great people. Absolutely. Who have done great work and transformed people. And if people in the West will understand the history of those great people, they will have a different perspective of Islam. And therefore we fight in two fronts. One is the misunderstanding of this group, of group of people who claim that represent Islam. Right. And the second, have the misunderstanding of the people in the West. There's some people saying bad things about Islam. Some of them are ignorant, and some of them, they maybe have their own agenda. How to fight that is to present the message of Islam and the teaching of Islam and the love of Islam and the tolerance of Islam, and to create coalition of group of people. That's how you fight bad narrative. Right. You know, and that's why we call this, we don't call it counter-narrative. Right. A counter-narrative. We don't call it counter-narrative, we call it meta-narrative. MashaAllah. The difference between them, counter-narrative, as if your narrative is equal to their narrative. Right. No. The real narrative of Islam, the true message, Sheikh Abdullah bin Bayy says, that the Islam that we represent, the narrative that we represent, is the prophetic narrative. Right. It's called the meta-narrative. Therefore, these are the principles that we teach people, that Islam is a religion that based on love, respect, justice, equality. All of the things are the principles that create peaceful, compassionate society.
But also, if you can use your own narrative, of course, by using the truth, showing people Islam is the right way to do it. But we know there's a lot of people sponsoring though terrorism, and countries doing that. Is it because you can have your messages around, but if there's money involved in it, how are you going to tell the other countries not to use their own money to finance these? No, is it the state has to do it?
You see, as an Imam, I have area of concern and area of influence. Right. I'm concerned about violence extremism around the world. What is the area of my influence? Is myself, to speak to my community, and my fellow imams and the scholars. In the IIPC, our model is that we work with the religious leader to change the public opinion of individuals, that to make every person be a protective citizen. MashaAllah. The person that promote health. That's why this vaccination, we're speaking to families, that because if you make your child, you know, miss the vaccination, and then the person having disability, you have responsibility for Allah Almighty. When we talk about importance of education, when we talk about how to address the issue of youth in the violence extremism, that is my area, my concern. But there's certain area is out of my jurisdiction. You know what I mean?
لا يكلف
الله نفسا إلا وسعها. MashaAllah. Allah does not burden a soul more than it can take. Okay? Even said that to Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. True. ذكر فإنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر. You just remind people. You have to do with the right thing. But eventually, trust me, by changing people's mind, to transform communities, eventually things will change. Because I think every human being, whether government or individual, suppose their objective to be to create a society have justice, equality, education, health. That's supposed to be our objective, all of us. Therefore, by creating individuals who believe in those values, eventually the society will come to adopt those.
Absolutely. Imam Mouhamad Majeed from Adam Center, the mosque in Washington, visiting once again Dakar, Senegal, and Touba as well. We're going to be he's going to be finished soon in about 5 minutes, and now you're in Senegal, you're in Dakar. What was your impression when you went to Touba, seeing a city that was built by Sheikh Al-Khadim for Allah, for Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The big mosque standing by the center. There's a library, and the commonality in Touba is Islam 24/7. What was your impression coming? Of course, there's a lot we can learn in Africa, but also I believe with what you doing, imams and aimers in America, there's also a lot to learn from the communities in America. What did you learn?
I do believe that Muslims, American Muslims, should visit, Muslim land, and especially a country like Senegal,
MashaAllah,
where there's a religious tolerance and understanding all over the place. But also you visit big cities where they're religious hub, like Touba.
MashaAllah.
Touba, when you come to the Magal, you hear, what do you hear? You hear Quran and the praise of the Prophet Muhammad 24 hours. And you feel that there's a spiritual uplifting environment. You hear that there's people being doing Khatm al-Quran through the days of the Magal.
In the mosque, 28 Quran recited every week.
Subhanallah.
28 Musaf.
That is, this ummah of Islam cannot be sustained without the Quran and the love of Rasulullah.
MashaAllah.
The two things, Quran and loving of Rasulullah and following Rasulullah. Therefore, those are things that sustain the society. Therefore, I was very happy when I come to the Touba, and amazing things that I say all the time. I was amazed that there's no smoking. You cannot buy cigarettes.
No alcohol, no smoking.
No smoking.
It's been done. It's been banned by the third Caliph, Sheikh Abdul Ahad, back in the late 70s.
Subhanallah. No alcohol.
No alcohol,
no smoking.
And whatever is behind that too.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Right.
You know, therefore I do love this aspect of Senegal, of religious city like Touba,
MashaAllah,
is as a beautiful.
Medina Bay.
Yeah, yes, Kaulak and so. You have those. That's religious hub. Therefore, I had a great impression of when I visited
And the new
Touba.
Caliph also, Sheikh Sidi al-Mukhtar, he did a great work in terms of people coming together,
Allah yahfadhu, yeah.
communities coming together, understand we have the same
Yeah, yeah.
prophet. He did a great work in the past 4 or 5 years here in Africa, in Senegal.
It is amazing. It's amazing that when you come to the Magal and there's a conference. Before the Magal, every time there's a conference, and the conference take a topic and a subject that concerns the Muslim Ummah, and they address that issues, and every 3 years you have the big conference around that issues. That's amazing that how we connect Islam to day-to-day life. That's very important. Therefore, I really have a great respect and love for Touba and people of Touba. May Allah bless them. May Allah bless the Khalifa Sayyid al-Mukhtar, Sheikh Bashir, and every.
Also, the Senegal. I mean, right now there's a program run by the country, the government, called Senegal Rising. That's a huge investment all over the country that President Sall is running. I know you're friendly with the president. Are you going to be involved in that particular?
I'm telling you, since the president invited me to this country, President Macky Sall and his family, I've been praying for this country. This country really can offer a lot to the Muslims, to people in Africa, and I see the prosperity and the blessing coming to this country, inshallah. Whatever we can do as American Muslims, we will do it. We will do to help. Yeah, we will ask American Muslims to come to invest in this country and other people.
I mean, Allah. President Sall definitely will need that with this program called Senegal Rising, which is
that's beautiful.
Doing well right now. There's cities in Jamñajo, all the cities.
I can see that.
I can see
the great work
in just 4 or 5 years. So he's doing great right now. Hope he's going to be helpful. But also at the end, we're going to be telling you, alhamdulillah, there's the work of Sheikh Al-Khadim that needs to be disseminated from around the world. We are a Ajam country. We are not very developed in terms of technology and stuff like that. And most of the work of Sheikh Al-Khadim is not known yet. So we're asking you and calling for your help on that. You like Sheikh Amdu Yusuf and many others, that this is Sheikh Al-Khadim, this is his work, it needs to be known. This is someone who lived for Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. His life was only for Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And he loved it. He loved him. He said, Mahabbati al-Mukhtar al-Sayyidina, حب المقالية والأهلين والولد. He said, Dami wa ahli wa awladi fiddahu lahu. Everything he had, it was for Rasulullah.
No, you cannot miss it. When you read his poetry, you cannot miss it. How much he loved Rasulullah,
right?
And the beautiful Arabic and eloquent and the spirit in which he wrote.
So, brother Mouhamad Majeed, this is the work of Shaykh Al-Khadim.
Inshallah.
This is the work for you, America.
And especially promoting the issue of non-violence.
And there's this sheikh called Sheikh Ibrahim Afal, who really worked hard for him. One day he heard of America. He said, what was the word he said? He said, America. The sheikh told him, I murid. You see the sounding? America, I murid. He said, murid's gonna come from America.
Wow,
Sheikh Ibrahim Afal said that. So hopefully that's going to happen. We'll ask you for your last word because time is running out. Thank you for coming.
I really, Allah bless this country.
Right, mashallah.
Allah bless Touba.
Mashallah.
And Sayyid al-Khalifa.
Mashallah.
And all of the murids. And Allah bless our brothers and sisters, in this beautiful country.
Right.
And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give the leadership, President Macky Sall and everyone, the health and the wisdom to have this country rise and be the model and example. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this work of Sayyid Ahmed Bamba, Khadim al-Rasul, become known, especially his story of non-violence. It's very important.
MashaAllah. I think it's going to happen because right now he's in Mecca visiting, of course. This is actually a medium with your program you guys doing. Anytime you come back, you can call us for Lamfal TV. This is a window from Senegal and Touba for the communication reason. Anything you want from America to know, you can contact us and it's going to happen, inshallah. So we were happy today. Thank you, Mr. Mouhamad.
Thank you.
To have a wonderful brother, an Imam from, again, the Adams Center Mosque in Washington, who did the beautiful qira once again during the inauguration of President Donald Trump, but also during the inauguration of President Barack Obama. So thank you for watching Echo from Touba once again. We'll meet you we're going to have a pause though because of Ramadan for 30 days, inshallah. We're going to come back every 15 days after that, inshallah. We'll wish you happy Ramadan. May Allah accept all our dua and help the Muslim community, the Muslim world altogether to achieve their goals, inshallah. We praying also for the Caliph, Sheikh Sidi al-Mukhtar, and all the leaders of Muslim leaders in Senegal, the Tijani, Qadiri, and all of them. Allah help them have really achieve what they want for their own community. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Jërëjëf Deputy Serigne Touba. Jërëjëf lakk Imam Cheikh Ibrahima Fall.
الناس كرلي بالكاد والنون